my friends. Preparing the live feed. Cette réunion est diffusée. J'ai compris. Pas de souci. Okay. Everything seems to be working apparently according to plan. Now we simply gotta deliver. Okay, welcome. Welcome to the Marketing Commandos show. I'm so pumped I'm finally able to deliver that show to you guys because we are going to talk about how you can make sure that all your marketing needs, online, offline, your business needs in marketing are covered. I'm going to do that show every day. I'm Gabriel. I'm going to do a little presentation for you so you can follow with me along the great tips I got for you. This show is going to be every day. Yes, every day at 8 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. And I'm going to talk about every tips, every mistakes you should avoid, everything you need to know to make sure you crush 2022 with your marketing. So let's go. I'm going to share with you my screen. First time I'm doing this, so if there are any technical issues, we deal with it. No problem with that. So let's get after it. Let's get this one. Okay. And here we are. You should be able to see my screen. I hope so. I hope so that you should be able to see my screen. Now, maybe I can share with you as well that little thing I got. So I'm going to make sure it happens. Now, we're going to start right now and make sure that, hey, you guys get some incredible value out of that. This is going to be a quick live episode for this one, but I'm going to make sure you get incredible value out of that presentation. So welcome to the marketing show. Again, I'm going to make sure this happens every day, 8 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, 8 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, Marketing Commandos. You can join us on Clubhouse with the room in the same name, Marketing Commandos, if you want to ask some questions about your marketing needs and be on live. Hey, I'm going to hope on some people, get them their questions asked if they need to, and then I'm going to answer them live for you. And you will be able to rewatch that. That's going to be incredible. If you want to drop a comment on YouTube as well, that would be incredible. Let's start right now. The title of this presentation of today's episode, number 1, is how to start a successfully marketing your business online now. Because as I already said in the Clubhouse, there are a lot of pitfalls to avoid, a lot of things that people are doing and that they shouldn't be doing, and a lot of things that they could be doing, but they don't know. Because I get it. Online marketing is moving every day, changing every seconds of every day. And you need somebody that's here to tell you, hey, what's the next thing I should do? What's the next thing? Where should I focus my efforts and what should I do? And I'm here to deliver all that. So we are going to do quickly all introduction because, hey, some of you may not know me. I'm Gabriel, also known as Gabriel Juliet. I'm French. Hello, hello, la France, my friends. I'm the founder of Juliet Media and Juliet Productions. We focus on making sure businesses of all sizes get their marketing needs and their video and photo productions needs handled so that they can grow tremendously with that. Now, I bragged about myself. I can go into the subject of this presentation, which is how to start successfully marketing your business online in 2022. So if you're excited, drop a like, do whatever you want to show your excitement, because we're going to go for a trip and this is going to be incredible. So now, subscribe now. This show, there's a new episode every day at 8 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. So subscribe to make sure you do not miss any episodes and any things that we're going to talk about in that show. So today, I just want to start quickly by mentioning, hey, how should you start marketing your business online? I want to start with that because, as I told you, you guys, maybe you went through a lot of pain knowing like, hey, what should I do? Should I start like going on Twitter? Should I start doing stories, reels, TikToks, podcasts, all of that? Where should I start? What should I do? Because all those guys are telling me, hey, do that thing, it works, or do this or do that, and it works as well. Yes, but I cannot do it all. What should I do? I'm with you. I get it. And that's actually something that happened to me, the same thing. I think like a lot of us, we went into in front those guys, those gurus, those guys that know it all about online marketing, and they all tell you, hey, you should post every day, do this and that, post on every platform 160 times per minute, like those guys, you know who I'm talking about, which is true, but it creates a lot of confusion. And I'm with you. I understand that it may seem a lot, and you don't, when you're thrown into that universe and you don't know, you just know how to go on Instagram and like a few things. I can understand that, hey, this may be a bit too much for you to begin with. Maybe you need something to bite on, or something that's more efficient with your time. Or if you do not have a team of 160 people to create content for you. I get it, and I'm with you. And I went through the same things because I wanted to market my business as well. I wanted to make sure, hey, my clients, I wanted to know what I can deliver to my clients to give them the best results. And I wanted to make sure as well, hey, that I grew as well on social media. Come on, man, because attention is key. Today, attention is one of the best resources, one of the best things somebody can have. Because when they have attention, people listen to you. And especially with everything that's going on today, that's incredibly important. And how do you get that? I'm going to make sure that you guys get that for your industry and your business. I'm going to talk about that right now. So first, I got three tips that you should follow in order to make sure that you get to know how to use and how to start to use social media, online marketing to start marketing your business online right now. First, I want you to focus on mastering one tool at a time, one after the other. And that's incredibly important, incredibly important. Now, I'm the guy that's going to tell you as well, when you're at the occasion, go omnipresent, go everywhere, go on all the platforms that you can. Yes, you should definitely do that. But first, what you should do is mastering one too, because if not, you're going to jump from one thing from the other, from one to the other, and then you're not going to be a master. You're going to be mediocre, average at best at each and every one of them. And you don't want to do that because it's going to take you a lot of time. It's going to make you miserable, and you're going to have a lot of struggle learning all those things. So what you should do is first focus on learning one. Hey, I'm going to start with podcasts. Start with the one that seems to be the one that makes the most sense for your industry. And then go on and implement that. Master this one. And the quicker you master it, the quicker you can move on to add another tool. But you got to master it first. Master that tool and then add another one. Don't go from one to the other until you mastered one. Number two, learn how to tell stories. That's by far one of the most important and one of my favorite tips, because when you learn how to tell stories, you have that ability to be thrown anywhere on social media, whether it's Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, podcasts, wherever you're going to be able to be there and to make sure you get results. Because people always go like, hey, how to use Twitter, how to use that platform, how to use ads, how to use all that. If you know how to tell stories and make sure that they deliver the results that you want them to give, wherever you're going to be, if you talk, if you have video, if you have text, you're going to know how to make sure you get the end results that you want if you know how to tell stories correctly. So learn how to do that. Skills that can basically be took from one platform to the other, and that are going to benefit you, especially learning how to tell stories. Number three, I want you, and I know a friend of mine, Rebecca Kramer, is going to love this one. Go live every day. Why should you do that? Going live every day seems to be a bit of a daunting task, and it can be 2 minutes a day, 30 seconds even. If you want to make 1 hour, do what makes the most sense for you and for your business. But if you go live every day, you're going to be able to quickly be thrown into a high pressure situation that's going to help you master the tools and master the things that you need to practice, especially telling stories. For example, going back to tip number 2. Hey, if you want to learn how to tell stories, you can do that through text, through videos. But in my opinion, one of the best ways to do that, and the quickest way to do that as well, is to do that while you're alive, because there's no second take. Like here, there's no second take. This is live. If I F up, I'm on live, and that's unfortunate. So I need to make sure I don't. So the hardest is the way for you to practice that. Of course, in the beginning, maybe start little, but the quicker you go into an environment that's more challenging for you, the better you're going to be. Hey, the more you're going to train, if you go at the gym, the better, the stronger, the faster you're going to be. Exactly the same thing here. So that's how I advise you to make sure that you go and you reach the goals that you want. Oh, and I saw that I skipped a lot of slides. That's unfortunate. Now, I kind of spoiled my presentation. We're going to go into Q&A time. I picked up a few questions that a lot of people are having into online marketing. I picked up those questions. I gathered them for you, and I'm going to answer those frequently asked questions, because there are a lot of questions coming in when you're into online marketing. Hey, where should I start? What should I do? A lot of questions. I picked up the most frequent ones to make sure that I answer those questions and that you can benefit from it. So, question: what are the benefits and positive sides of digital marketing? What are the benefits and positive sides of digital marketing? Well, there are a ton of positive sides, but if I gotta make sure I concise this, because I can tell you 100 million things, but the thing is, it's not different than marketing. It's the exact same thing. It comes senior before selling, which means that, hey, you can be the best at closing the deal. You can be the best at presenting a product. But if you do not market first, if you do not grab attention, nobody's going to know you, and you're going to have nobody to present your product, offer, solutions, services. Digital marketing offers an angle in marketing that is really interesting. Before, we try to hit pretty much as many people as we can, and the one that was able to spend the most money on the most amount of people was the one that was going to win. That was basically how it worked. Now it's the same thing, but with a little interesting twist. Digital marketing helps us to pretty much reach anybody that we want. Like, if I want to target somebody that lives in a specific country, has a specific income, that does a specific job, and that likes the color red, I can do that. So what's incredibly interesting with online marketing is that we can directly target a specific customer. And I'm going to talk about that further into today's show. But this is incredibly interesting because it helps you being targeted and make sure that the customer on the other end sees that, hey, this offer is made for me, and this is something I definitely need. And you can play with that as a business owner a lot, and you can make sure that it helps as much as possible your customer, and you can make as much profit as possible on your hand. Question number 2, how small businesses can leverage digital marketing? Because I get it that you may not have an incredible ad budget. You may not be like Nike and be able to spend 2 million per day on an ad, or campaign, which I get, I'm with you. Or you may not have an incredible team of designers, videographers, editors that can create content for you. You may be a one-man show, one-woman show. How can you do that? How can you leverage that? So first, what I would advise you to do is to start creating content and documenting how your business works. Because let's say, for example, let's start with an attorney. Let's say an attorney. Like, do you believe that you're going to trust that person more than the person if he or she posts a lot of on social media, explain how the job works, a few tips, a few pitfalls to avoid, a few things that you should or you should not do? That person is posting that content online. And you get another guy that is not doing that. Which one would you rather trust and do business with? Of course, the first one. Why? Because it creates trust. It creates connection. People want to do business with other people. So one of the ways that you can leverage digital marketing is to create content. That's the free way. That's the way that basically requires effort instead of money. But it can create trust. It can create a lot of engagement, and you can create a lot of free traffic. So that's really great. If you plus, if you know what you're doing, you can get extreme results. Sometimes, and oftentimes, better results than with paid advertising if you know what you're doing with organic content. Organic, which means that it's not paid. Now, with paid traffic, you can go and still do ads, which I would recommend for every business, every person that's out there to run ads. On Facebook, Google, you can do that for extremely cheap. Before, you had to pay $45,000 for doing a one page on your newsletter, on your how do you say that, on a newspaper in the past. Now you can start with $5 a day, and if you have a great process, a great sales page, a great sales funnel, you can get great results with that. So I would advise you to start little, but starting with little is always better than not doing it. Now, next question. Where can I learn digital marketing? First, you can learn it on this show, the Marketing Commandos. I'm going to refresh them really quick. 8 a.m. Eastern Standard Time every day. But now that the little plug is over, I'm going to give you other ways to learn it from it. I would advise you to follow that one tip. Don't try to learn about it. Because if you search about it, you learn the best ways to post on Instagram. What's the #1 thing to grow my Facebook on 2022? And if you have that mindset, that approach of, hey, I'm going to be how do you say that? Somebody that studies the topic. You're not gonna use it. You're going to be a student that's not going to apply, and that's not going to get the best result that they can. And I don't want you to do that. The best approach I would recommend you to have is to maybe not know anything, or at least not knowing everything. Maybe you just know a bit, or maybe you don't know anything, that's fine. But you post and you try. By trial and error, you're going to get 1, way better results, 2, much faster insights and analytics and data that's going to indicate you what is working and what's not. It can be content, okay, seems like that post I did yesterday performed better than the one I did last week. What's in that one that I can take and use in the next one? You can learn that way. And that should be the primary way for you to learn. Because if not, you're going to be searching the best way, and you're going to try to have your little perfect Facebook, Instagram video, or YouTube video, and you're never going to post it. Quantity beats quality on social media. You got to be aggressive, extremely aggressive. Because if I tell you how many minutes, you know what I'm going to tell you that. I think there is a stat, I don't have the exact number, something along the lines of billions, maybe 10 billions of minutes of videos on YouTube are published every day. Billions. So if you don't have the way to have an incredible production and be sure, hey, we've tested with $10 million of budget that this ad is going to work because of A, B, and C, which works, but it requires a lot of experience, money, and time. If you don't have that, if you are not in that case, the best way to do, and still, even if you are in that place, the best approach you can always have is to be extremely aggressive and be posting, running ads, an extreme aggressive way. Quantity being extremely aggressive with that. So those were the 3 questions I picked up. Now, quick refresh. We do that every day. We do this show every day at 8 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, and we talk about how to be commandos, special forces, quick, efficient, strong marketers, business owners. If you want to be somebody that knows how to market your business and get extreme results, that's the show you should listen to. 8 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, every day, Marketing Commandos. Now, we're going to go on the next topic. Next topic, which is, I'm not going to mess up my slide this time, which are, let me check that out. Okay. I forgot to take the questions on the slide. No problem. Hey, technical issues. I told you, technical issues. We're dealing with it. Now, I'm going to talk about the top 4 mistakes people make when with their online marketing. Top 4 mistakes people makes with their online marketing. There are 4, and I'm going to add another one because it's extremely important. Mistake number 1 is they're not showing up, not posting, not doing the lives, not doing the videos, not doing the photos, not doing the text, not doing all of them. They're not showing up. That means, yes, you should be posting a ton, as I talked about previously. You should be extremely aggressive. But it should start first. And that's by far the first mistake. People say, oh, it doesn't work. I don't know why social media doesn't work. Like, how much posts did you did? 10. Okay. I can kind of know what your problem is. You got to post a lot of quantity. And if you look at any person that's made it big on social media, whether they're an influencer, business owner, they often posted hundreds, maybe thousands of videos, posts before they had their overnight success. So number 1 is show up. Make sure you show up, and you show up more than anybody. That's how you're going to dominate. Number 2, mistake number 2. Hey, you're trying to please everyone. You're trying to be the nice guy of social media. You're trying to be the friendly guy. Hey, no problem. You can be friendly. You can be the great guy, but do not be the nice guy that's trying to please everybody. You know that in dating, if you're too nice, you ain't gonna have anybody. That works the same way with marketing. If you're trying to be nice to everyone, to be approved by everyone, nobody's gonna deeply follow with you. They're going to be like, okay, this guy is great. Okay. But if you're extremely polarizing, and I want you to think about a leader that you're following, and I'm sure that if they have a substantial amount of followers or success on online marketing, they are polarizing. I can take a few examples. I can take Grant Cardone is an easy example, for example. That guy, either you love him or you hate him. But he does not give you the option of being in the middle. Like, I don't know about that guy, like, doesn't, ain't got any opinion on him. That guy wants you to have an opinion on him, whether it's good or bad. But when you have an opinion on that guy, you pay attention. Good or bad, yes, but it's always best to be hated than to be not known. So don't be scared of being hated. Don't just be scared of those things, of being polarizing, because that's how you're going to get your true following, your true tribe that are behind you and that will die for the cause that you're supporting. Because those guys will be hardcore supporters of the polarization that you decided to take. So make sure you do not try to please everyone. Be polarizing. Next mistake that people do, they want to help everybody. And I'm with you. I'm the same guy. I want to help everybody, but I cannot do it at the same time. Let's say you're in a plane. Okay, plane got an issue. It's crashing. It's falling fast. And you're there. Oh, shoot. I want to help everybody that's on this plane, of course. But you can't. The truth is, you got to help people one by one. And it works the exact same way in online marketing. If you're trying to spread a message to everybody at the same time, nobody is going to feel connected to that message because it's too wide. Too wide. You got to target the message to somebody specific. Now, how do you do that? Let's say, for example, hey, you are targeting realtors. Your customers are realtors. Target city by city. Maybe, and that an incredible amount of way to target. But hey, maybe you can target city by city. That's a way to target. Maybe you can target with the content that only realtors can really get. So a situation that's relatable to them, something that they found funny, entertaining, but that only them find it, so that they feel like, hey, that speaks to me. That piece of content is made for me. You gotta really target and make sure that those people feel like, hey, this is made for me, like something that only those people can understand. You know, when you're with your friends and that you're cracking some jokes, and maybe you have like, you know, your close friends, and then you got other friends that are not so close with you, and maybe you got some inside jokes that only your best friends will understand. Same thing here, because if you are trying to do a joke with like that will be like appreciated by everybody, you're gonna get some laugh, maybe. But if you like crack a joke that you know your friends are gonna laugh, like die laughing at when they're gonna hear it, hey, more effective, because you targeted that group with a specific message. Do the same thing with your online marketing strategy. Mistake number 4 is not aiming to be omnipresent. I talked about the fact that, hey, you should master one tool at a time. Yes, but the end goal is always to be omnipresent. You should be omnipresent on marketing online, basically, with your business. Now, what does omnipresent mean? And I like to always dive deep into the meaning of those words, because it has a lot of meanings. But if you dive deep, those are the meanings that they are. First, omnipresent is being everywhere. So ultimately, you need to be pretty much whenever somebody thinks about something that's you're facing. Like, for example, they think, hey, you're a plumber. Man, I need to fix my sink. It has a problem. It leaks. That person has to think about you. That's being omnipresent, because you're omnipresent in their head. And how do you achieve that result? Basically, you're present everywhere they watch. On Facebook, on YouTube, on Instagram, on a bus, on paper. The more omnipresent you are, the higher the chances for them to think about you whenever they have a problem to fix, or in other situations sometimes. Depends on the business you have. But you should always aim to be omnipresent, always. And that's incredibly important. Now, how do you be omnipresent? You need to be everywhere, but you need also to be deep into those places, because you can be everywhere. For example, you can be on Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, Facebook. But if you only post once a year on those platforms, yes, you are everywhere, but you're not going deep into that. So the effects you're going to see, well, you're not going to see any. So because you're not deep into those things. So being omnipresent is going wide, but also going deep into different platforms, different ways to do marketing. So that's mistake number 4. And I told you I'm going to give you a bonus one, because this one is by far, I think, I kept the most important one for the end, because I think this is by far the thing that the single opportunity that people are missing the most. And that is not having a CTA. What is a CTA, Gabriel? A CTA is a call to action. Always having a CTA. Subscribe to the show right now to make sure you do not miss any episodes, 8 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Always be having a CTA in your content. Try to have one, only one, because if not, you're going to confuse the people. But always first having a CTA, a call to action. Tell them to do something. It can be whatever it is. Sometimes it's not going to be, hey, buy my product. Sign up for my $500 million masterclass. Maybe it's not going to be that each time on each Twitter post, but always have an intent and make sure that the person that's reading, watching, the person that's experimenting the thing that you're putting out, make sure they do an action. Comment on that post. Share if you agree. What can it be? Hey, buy my product. Simply click on this link. Send a review. All those things like that. Always be creative and find a way to have a call to action, because making sure they make an action gives them like that makes them engage towards you. And then when you are going to require them to do an action, for example, to purchase, because that's going to be the ultimate goal for them to purchase your product or services, they are going to be used to take actions with you. Imagine who has higher chances for buying with you, from buying from you? The guy that comments on your post all the time, or the guy that just saw you for the first time? Yeah, the guy that comments on your post all the time, because he's used to taking actions toward you, to listening to you saying, hey, take that action, do that, because they believe in you. But to do that, for them to take an action, you got to ask them to do an action, because everybody is lazy. So make sure you ask for the action. Do a call to action. So we covered the top 4 mistakes people make with their online marketing. Now, I want to go into a little tutorial on how to build your business online fast in 2022. How can you make sure that you build a business online, whatever is the kind of business that you're building, fast in 2022? What should you follow? What should you do? I'm going to tell you step by step what to do. There are 3 steps that I noted down that you should follow in order to build your business online fast in 2022. Number 1 is identify your tribe. But identify the tribe really. Like, focus on doing that. Understand each behaviors of the tribe. When I'm calling the tribe, I'm calling your customers, the people that are buying your products and services. Focus on identifying those really hard. Why? Because the more you understand them, the better you're going to be able to create ads, content that you're not going to click on. You basically have to be able to put yourself in their shoes when they are looking at your ad or your content and say like, oh, that's incredible. I need to click on that. I need to see this. Because you know their needs, you know their life, you know how they behave and what they do, so you can help them the best. That's number 1. Number 2, identify the content that they consume, the ads. That also is true for the ads that they watch and that they convert on, the webinars, the kind of webinars that are working with them, the kind of presentations that convert with them, all those things. Watch carefully how they behave toward things that's thrown at them. What do they respond to? How can they, like, for example, in the I'm talking about the entrepreneurial space. A few years ago, it was pretty much like doing like, hey, videos that were really informational, maybe motivational. It was basically the kind of content that was dominating on social media. Then at some point, memes were starting to having a great response. And all of a sudden, everybody started to do memes because they work really well. But it may not be the same situation for your market. So you really have same thing. Truly identify, hey, what is working for them? What is your audience watching? What do they like to watch? And then you can take an original spin after that. But you need to focus first on understanding, hey, what do they watch? What do they consume? And what do they convert to? Next step, number 3, is to start posting now. Told you previously in the live, you need to show up. You need to not think about it. Do the action. Do the action. Do the action. See the results. Adjust. Do the action. Do the action again. And the more you're going to be able to do that as fast as possible, the quicker you're going to be able to advance to the results that you want to achieve with your marketing. Because I see a lot of people, I talked about that previously in the live, but I see a lot of people researching every bit on how to do SEO, how to have the perfect YouTube tags, to the perfect titles. And you're going to learn that aside That's fine. You can learn that aside. That's that's not what I'm saying. The thing is, your primary mode should be default aggressive. You should be focused on acting first, and then to get more data to make sure the action is better distributed, you add some knowledge. But do not start by, hey, I want to know it all before doing it. No, start by doing it and then adding some knowledge to make it, hey, better. But start by being default aggressive. That's extremely important. Now, we're going to finish this live really soon, actually. It's going really fast. It was pretty much, hey, 30 minutes, but I'm not done yet. I'm not done yet. I want to make sure I remind you first that this is going to happen every day, 8 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Marketing Commandos, put that on your calendar, put that on your Clubhouse, save that room, put that on your YouTube, subscribe, because we're going to talk about marketing strategies, marketing processes, and mistakes and pitfalls to avoid every day so that you can grow your business and crush it in 2022 and after that as well. Next subject. Final thoughts. Final thoughts about this episode, first episode of Marketing Commandos. First is you simply have to start, guys. And I know that this is the most cliche with a few advices that you can hear on social media and all. This is one of the things that you hear the most, but if you hear it a lot, that's maybe a sign that you should do it a lot. So understand that I say that you simply have to start because best known beats best. I talked about that at some point in your life. The fact that if you focus on creating the best product and then waiting for people to come and to buy it, you're not going to get any results. What's an approach that would work? Here it is. You basically make sure, I don't say don't have a good product. I say make sure everybody knows about that product. Everybody. Make sure everybody knows about that product, because best known is going to always beat best. So follow the advice I talked about in the live. And if you weren't in the live, hey, go back and listen to it, because you really have to understand that you start and then you go aggressively, and then you make sure you get omnipresent and you get known. And if you do that the right way, you're going to be dominating your industry. You do not need to dominate the world. Of course, if you do dominate the world with your business, we're talking marketing wise, you're going to get incredible results, but you do not need to get to that level to see incredible results. You can start small, and even in a small structure, you can get dramatic results. I talk that from experience. Now, number 2, understand the who. Understand the who. The deeper you do that, the more you're going to be able to first understand them, and then you're going to be able to deliver what they want. And then a direct consequence of all that is them being able to buy your product in large quantities and with a lot of price, with a great price. And there is a saying in marketing along the lines of that, which is basically that marketing is simply understanding the conversations that your customer is having in their own head. If you know, as I talked about before, to put yourself in their shoes, and you're like, okay, now that person is watching my ad, and they're going to say that in their head, they're going to think that, then they are going to remember that, okay, then they're going to have that objection. If you know all those things that your customer is going to think about, because you know them incredibly well, that's the thing. When you know them incredibly well, you know, okay, what they're going to say, what they're going to think when they see that. And then you can act in consequence with the thing that you create, whether it's an article, a video, an ad. You know what to say, what to do in order to make them do the right thing. But first, you got to understand them. It's going to be very different from audience to audience, and even the same audience at different places in time will act differently. But that's a topic for another show. Now, one final thought I got is, hey, kind of a little like, how do we say that? Resume, summary. In French, we say résumé. A summary, which is, hey, master one tool at a time, then move on. The more aggressivity you put on mastering that tool, the quicker you can go and tackle another one. Because you need to focus first on mastering one platform and pick the one that makes the most sense for you and that you can sustain to be posting on it the longest. Because let's say you pick YouTube, but you are not going to be able to post frequently, then you should not pick that platform. If you stick better to writing articles because you feel more comfortable and you're like, hey, I can write an article a day, then pick writing articles, make a blog. You got to pick something that you can stick to, that you can keep producing. Master that. Then once you master that, you can move on to secondaries, other ways to make sure you are more omnipresent and you grab market share. But you need to master one first. And the way to master the first one is the following. Incredibly simple. You pick one and you move aggressively. What's going to do is going to help you master it extremely quickly, number one. Number two, the more aggressive, as I told you, the more aggressivity you put on that, the quicker you're going to be able to add other things, because you are going to be able, hey, to learn that really quick and to see the results and to readjust really quick. So you're going to know, hey, what should I do? What should I not do? And then be able to add other things or to eliminate others if necessary. So, as I told you, I'm going to stay true to my word and make sure, that ain't the right slide. I'm going to stay true to my word and ask you a call to action. Right now, I'm doing that. As you can see on the live feed, if you are not seeing the video, go on YouTube, live every day, 8 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Marketing Commandos. I'm posting the logo of the show, Marketing Commandos, right now. Hey, following the rules as I told you. Show up. If you comment first, so go on that post that I'm posting on Instagram at Gabriel Julier. Maybe I can share that with you guys and write it out so you can go. That would be easier for you. Can I share my phone? Can I do that? No, that ain't possible. I thought I discovered something incredible, but that ain't the case for now. I'm going to take a little, how do you say that? Whiteboard. So my Instagram is at Gabriel. Don't ask me to spell it. I'm too focused on writing it because my writing ain't that good. Julie, hey, on Instagram. I'm posting one post right now. So go on there. I'm posting something right now. The logo of the show, Marketing Commandos. And if you comment first on it, I'm going to send you a resource that I made that's extremely valuable to create videos. That's basically a checklist of all the things that you need to follow and that you need to do to make the perfect videos that convert, whatever your niche is. You just have to follow the steps, apply it to your industry, to your niche, and then you're going to have videos that converts a ton. So grow and comment. The call to action is, hey, comment first on that thing, on that post, the logo of Marketing Commandos, so that you guys can get that free gift I'm giving you. Again, this is the end of Marketing Commandos. Episode number 1, first one, and not the last one. Every day, 8 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, your daily morning marketing knowledge. You gotta have it. You gotta have it. I'm going to be there every day. This was Gabriel Julier. Really happy to start that new journey and to tackle that new thing. Let's go.